Elizabeth's Early Learning Center supports families in the community by providing a safe environment and personalized nurturing care, which allows parents to pursue their careers and contribute greatly to our community. Our parents serve the community on many levels. They work in service industries, the business sector, nonprofits, the medical community, and as educators and civil servants. It's difficult to imagine a day in the life of our city without childcare that enables parents to contribute in the ways that they do. Early experiences beginning at birth affect the development of brain architecture, which provides the foundation for all future learning and behavior. Did you know that 90% of a child's brain development happens before age 5? At EELC, every moment of every day, from the time the children walk in the door till the moment they leave, is an opportunity for learning. Our teachers implement a curriculum that focuses on developing skills in many areas: language and literacy, art, math, science, social studies, cognition, and fine and gross motor development. Learning does not just occur, however, in the context of formal activities. It happens at meal times, on the playground, and in unplanned moments through the day. Our teachers not only take advantage of these opportunities, they create them every day. And as a result, our students thrive and are well prepared for kindergarten and beyond. Teachers also know that the quality of interactions between children and their teachers and peers is the important factor in supporting their social and cognitive development. Elizabeth's Early Learning Center is accredited by the National Association for the Education of Young Children, which makes it one of only 8% of all preschools in the nation to obtain this accreditation. The standards we follow are based on research on the development and education of young children and were created with input from thousands of educators around the country. Elizabeth's Early Learning Center is a diverse community of young children. We are inclusive to all children and families, regardless of race, ethnicity, nationality, socioeconomic status, religion, or ability. Our student body includes children who are homeless, in foster care, and economically disadvantaged. We also partner with the Lynchburg City Schools and the Infant Toddler Connection of Central Virginia to identify children with special needs and provide them with services. Thanks to Elizabeth Forsyth and other loyal donors, our scholarship fund ensures that this excellent education is available to all children, regardless of ability to pay.
Elizabeth Forsyth had always made her gifts to charities and things anonymously. And we all wanted so very much to name this child care facility for her, but she objected to that. She wanted that to be anonymous also. So one day we were having a luncheon at her house with about 12 of her friends. And the friends and I, after a lot of persuasion, finally got her to agree to let us name the facility Elizabeth's Early Learning Center. And that's how we got the facility named the way it is. And we're so happy about that. When Elizabeth realized the great need that we had for additional child care in Lynchburg, she immediately started planning on ways that she could fulfill that need. And her dream was to have a child care facility that would include all the children in Lynchburg from any corner of the community. And one of the hardest parts of this dream to fulfill was the expense of it, of course. Elliot and Roselle Schul, lifetime educators in Lynchburg, decided to open a scholarship fund for Elizabeth's Early Learning Center. And very quickly, once that became public, other citizens and companies joined in the scholarship fund, and they planned to help the children's education with the city of Lynchburg. Everybody thought that was such a fantastic idea, and it was. Elizabeth wanted 50% of the children that attended the Early Learning Center to come with scholarship aid, and this scholarship helped provide that. But Elizabeth also knew that the tuition the children paid to the center would not come close to supplying all of the income that the center needed to operate. So she established an account with the Greater Lynchburg Community Trust to help offset this need. Elizabeth was a published author and an avid reader. And one of the things that she wanted for the center that I think makes it very unique and special is a library. And the library is a beautiful place. It's full of books for children. It has books for the adults. It's just a fantastic place, and every child in the center has reading here once a week. And each child at the center also has a backpack that they can put a book in. They check a book and put it in this backpack and take it home with them. And they have several days that they can share that with their parents or their brothers and sisters. Elizabeth's Early Learning Center not only provides a wonderful education that Dr. Holloway has already spoken about, but we are hoping that each child that enters the center feels the unconditional love and care that we want to give them. And we're hoping that this will go with them through life, and that whatever life shoves in their face for the rest of their lives, that they will always have these 5 years at the Early Learning Center to remember with warm, loving thoughts.
I feel like, God led us to this place because they supported us tremendously. Starting when he was 6 weeks old, when he came, they did not open until 7 o'clock, and I had to be at work at 7. So they worked with me and opened the doors just a little bit early, and I left him at the front desk with the ladies that were opening the building in his little car seat. When he was about 18 months old, they noticed some behavioral disturbances that I thought was typical for an 18-month-old, but since then he's been diagnosed with atypical autism spectrum disorder, developmental delay, a mixed receptive expressive language disorder, and ADHD, which I would have never known if it weren't for them pointing me in the right direction. They have also offered Chandler financial scholarships, which were very helpful because it took the burden off of me. I wouldn't have to worry about that piece. I could just focus on, taking care of him, making sure that he has the support that he needs. They've supported him through his occupational therapy, his speech therapy. They contract with Lynchburg City Schools, which is excellent. So the schools actually come here to see Chandler, and they did his treatments here with OT and speech. Since then, he's come such a long way. He just recently discharged from the OT and the speech, and he wouldn't have been able to do it without them. I mean, they've been a tremendous support professionally, emotionally, financially. It's just a huge deal for me.
My daughter has physical disabilities. She has a condition called spinal muscular atrophy, very similar to Lou Gehrig's, but for infants. It was a little bit complicated because she does require full-time medical care. She has a nurse that comes to school with her, and we were going to be facing a difficult time finding a school system that would allow her to be a part of a typical setting. And so Elizabeth offered to take her on, and that was a huge commitment for them. She's the only child in this school system with a physical disability, and they have been so wonderful. They have just taken her on, and she's learned so much in the class. This is our first year, and since starting in August, she has made huge leaps and bounds in her social skills, obviously her cognitive skills. She's just learned so much, but I think the biggest thing that we have taken from her time here at Elizabeth's is how they don't see her disabilities. They don't see her physical limitations. They, incorporated her into the classroom setting, and they do everything. They treat her as a typical child. She is not limited in any way. Her teacher is phenomenal.
And I haven't been homeless ever since. And the Marion's House is like a place for families to grow. They work with you, and Elizabeth is part of that. It's like a team. And I feel so honored to have Elizabeth in my daughter's life because I knew transitioning was hard for her, and I needed a daycare that I could feel like so good and feel honored to help her, because she is a handful, but she's my handful. But I needed something to stimulate her brain, to help her enhance and levels that she didn't have when she was, you know, a little baby, because she was with me through prison. And yes, she was with me in prison, and it was very hard raising, taking care of her. But we grew that, and she was in early intervention there, and I transitioned over here, and I just feel like I could have went other places and stuff for daycare, and I just felt like when I had a chance for Elizabeth, I just felt in my heart that was right. I heard a lot of good places, you know, people saying going to Elizabeth. I heard other good places by other daycares, but my cousin said this is the best for her.